Can tenants make partial rent payments for rent? Have you ever wondered if tenants can make partial rent payments? This question is important for both tenants and landlords. Let's break it down to understand the rules and options available. Tenants can indeed offer partial rent payments, but whether landlords must accept them is not a straightforward answer. It largely depends on the lease agreement and the local laws in place. In many cases, landlords have the right to requiring full payment by the due date. If the lease specifically states that partial payments are not allowed, landlords can refuse them. It is essential to note that there are no universal laws that dictate whether landlords must accept partial rent payments. This decision often falls to the landlord's discretion. Therefore, it is crucial for landlords to carefully review the lease terms regarding rent payments. If the lease does allow for partial payments, it is wise for landlords to document this arrangement in writing. This documentation should clearly state the amount paid, the remaining balance, and any deadlines for completing the payment. This helps avoid any confusion or disputes down the line. However, accepting partial rent payments can come with its own set of risks for landlords. In some areas, accepting a partial payment may be seen as waiving the right to evict a tenant for not paying the full rent. This can complicate eviction processes if the need arises. Landlords should also be aware of local landlord-tenant laws, as some states have specific rules about how partial payments affect late fees, eviction notices, and legal rights. For landlords dealing with partial rent payments, here are some practical steps to consider. First, review the lease agreement to check for any clauses about partial payments and late fees. Next, understand the local laws that govern rent payments and eviction procedures. If you decide to accept partial payments, it is best to get a signed written agreement with the tenant outlining the terms. Additionally, keep detailed records of all payments and communications. It is also important to treat all tenants consistently to avoid any claims of discrimination. Lastly, consider the habitability and maintenance status of the property. If a property is uninhabitable, tenants may withhold rent, which can affect the legality of partial payments. In summary, tenants can make partial rent payments, but landlords are not obligated to accept them unless the lease or local laws requiring it. Landlords should handle partial payments with care, ensuring clear agreements and compliance with legal requirements to protect their rights and maintain proper rent collection.